guys, here we go. This is the Dremel Multi-Vise. I showed this a little bit earlier. Make sure I've got the right side up. It's a vise that I'm going to be using with some of the little construction projects and knife stuff I'm going to be doing. So I thought I would open the box and take a look at it and then get it installed, and we'll see how it looks in installation. Okay, let's go. None of these things are ever easy to get into. They do not mind making these boxes difficult to get into. Let's take a look at it. You know, it's basically going to be a lot of plastic, but there are metal components here. Okay, cool. Cool. There we go. First thing first, the simplest process is always to ignore the instructions and see if you can get it working yourself. Let's just have to push a button there. I always test it this way. Now that doesn't mean I'm going to keep doing it this way, because I'm probably going to have to read the instructions because I might screw it up. But I always like to see how it initially comes together. So I'm going to actually need to put this up. And I think this is the attachment I'm looking most forward to. I believe this is the attachment that's going to help me to mount my Dremel tool for some special work. Let's take another look at this and how are we going to get into this. And I'm going to need a... Nope, doesn't look like it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do that. I'm going to pop this off. I'm going to drag this one all the way off. And then I'm going to do this the old-fashioned way. No, wait, this way. Bingo. Makes life easier when you think about it for a second. There are a lot of plastic components of this, and plastic is not actually what you want in heavy duty, but I'm not going to be using it for a heavy duty tool, so okay guys, now that's pretty fast. I always gauge something about how fast I can put it together without consulting the instructions. So that is the vise. It's got a plastic screw, plastic component here. So we'll see how this actually going to work. But that's the first step, and I will be back and we'll see what else we need to do here. Alright, starting from where we stopped before, the configuration of this thing is like this. It is not the traditional vise where you increase the contact from a long distance. You're first going to have to, you can open it up and you can push this button and push it apart. Now the way this works is I find, let me use my knife blank here. I find my knife blank. I put it there. Now I can't start screwing from there. I have to push forward and then place my knife in place. And it's very loose. And then once I get it where it touches, then I can screw it and tighten it. So it does, within a limited range, allow you to do that. Now the ball allows you to change the altitude or angle where you're going to be doing any grinding or anything else. So that's pretty cool. So it's a special use tool. It's not exactly what I would call a heavy duty tool, but but it will allow you to get some angles So you can use a rotary tool, and it's supposed to also attach to a rotary tool, but I don't believe it's going to attach to my Dremel 4200. It's probably going to be a rotary tool that does have because this one does not have a screw in or where you can actually screw this in and tighten it. So I probably have to get another Dremel tool to actually use it that way. So that's a little bit disappointing. But other than that, it looks pretty good. It's got a pretty traditional mount here, so it's going to need a flat table to connect to. Not like the attachment I have with this Manfrotto articulated arm, where it can almost screw into anything. It's going to have to be straight up and down. But that's pretty much the way you would expect a vise, because you're not going to be able to do that in a lot of angles. But see, so I can get that, and then I can do touch-ups with, say, a Dremel tool here, and get it. Alright, I'm going to show it in place here, and we'll take another look at it. Alright, here is the Dremel Multi-Vise in position. It seems like it might be sturdy enough. I'm not going to do any real heavy work with it, but for instance, I can angle this blade and do some touch-up work on it. And that's basically what it's going to do. I can simply tie down the knob and lock it into place. So it's not bad. And sorry for the tile. That's to decrease the vibration and noise on my Ryobi grinder there. And so I'm going to give you some estimations of how it works. I am a little bit disappointed in the fact that it will hold a Dremel tool, so hold it steady so you can do fine work, because like I said, with a Dremel tool you get some centrifugal force that will cause you to lose control of it temporarily, and that's a bit of a problem. But with that, you should be able to now be able to hold it. But it does not work with my Dremel 4200. It needs a Dremel with threads on it, and it has a special screw in that'll work on. So I'm tempted to get the other Dremel to do that, but it'd be an extra expenditure, and I'll have to see if that's worth it. But I think it'll do the kind of work I need it to do. I don't need it to do the heavy-duty work my other vise over here does. So I do not need it to do the work that this vise does. That vise is going to be for grinding, etc. So, but this vise can do touch-up work and some grinding. So I just wanted to show that, and I can't think of anything else right now. And I will be back with you later. Still working on the knives. This one is beginning to look pretty reasonable, at least in the blade form. The tang is sort of screwed up, but like I said, progression is slow, and I'm getting there. All right, I'll talk to you later. You have a wonderful day.